I'm gonna update my thing because, yeah, check it out. We're gonna play 51 worldwide games, or Clubhouse 51 games, or whatever it's called in America. Do a bit of that, update the stream title, because we are going to play by myself. We're gonna play new. What have I unlocked? I don't know. We're gonna play this guy.
Hanafuda.
I'm going to show you how to play Hanafuda. Because I've been thinking about doing this for a little while, and someone actually asked me to do it. So, hey, this is for them. And I'm also going to stick to English. Because I was going to go the other way, and be like, さあ、皆さん、こんにちは。ようこそ、私のライブストリームへ。私の名前は CPC ゲームです。よろしくお願いします。But like, this video is already kind of niche. Let's do it in your primary language, right? So yes, this is the 51 worldwide games version. It is the most accessible version of this game that I own. By which I mean, if you'll hang on, it's the one that's in English. Check it out. I got this guy as well. It's just ruined that immersion. But I think this is also the weakest version that I own. Like, you can see at the top there's very little in the way of customization. There's very few house rules or special rules. But, yeah, no, this is the most accessible version, so this is the one we're going to look at. Now, Hanafuda is split into 3, 6, or 12 rounds. The traditional game lasts 12 rounds, one for each month of the year. So that's what we're going to do. Now, quick rundown for how the game is set up. Your traditional deck has 48 cards, split into 12 groups of 4. Again, each group represents a month out of the year, with flowers that you'd expect to see during that time. So March is cherry blossoms, and September is chrysanthemums, and so on. To decide the lead, you draw a card from the deck, and whoever has the earliest month wins. So in our case, June versus May, AI goes first. So just let the AI take their turn. Amazing. So, this is what makes this version of the game the most accessible. You push the L button, it brings up a list of every card group and winning hand. That's incredibly useful. Now, the cards in Hanafuda are split into 4 categories, and actually, let me get my penguin pointer so I can show you what I'm doing. There we go. Player 1, me. So, you have got these guys. And these are Kasu, which is like chaff, wheat chaff. They have flowers on them and nothing else. And then next up, you've got poetry slips, sometimes called ribbons. As you see, they've got ribbons on them. The next level, or similar level, is Tane, and there is only one of them on the board right now, which is this guy. They are the ones that have animals on them. Tane means seeds, incidentally. And finally, Bright Lights, which is this one, and this one, and there are 5 in total in the deck. So what you have to do is you have to create pairs based on the flowers on those cards, and use that to make winning hands. I'm actually going to need to get my penguin pointer back out again. Bear with me just one second. So, the first thing you do in each turn is you play a card from your hand. Any card you like. And you can see that this one is highlighted because there is a match on the board. So like if I physically highlight it, you can see this one has become large. Like these two are matching cards. And then if I do that, that one matches to that one. And so it goes on. Now, you don't necessarily have to play a matching card. You can play this one, if you want, and just set it on the table in a free slot, or this one, and put it in a free slot, and then it just becomes part of the game for this round. And any player who wants to claim it can claim it. So what we're going to do is we're going to play this one and take the crane, because these are two very, very good cards. The poetry slip that's been written on, and the crane. I mentioned it's one of the bright light cards, so that's what we do. First thing you do in a turn, play any card from your hand. And the second thing you do is you've seen the AI do it, and you've seen me do it. You play a card from your hand, and then you draw a card from the draw pile on the left. If it matches something on the table, you have to match it. And if there's nothing on the table, it goes down and just becomes part of the playing field for the next turn. Can I show off this? No, I can't. Okay. If you have multiple cards on the table that you can match, you can only take one. So, for example, let's say that these three cards, this one, and this one, let's say they're all on the table. I can only take one of those if I have a matching card, because there's 4 in a hand, and if I take more than one, then I'm potentially leaving the enemy player with a hand that they can't use, and that's not sporting, so you don't do that. But what I am going to do is I'm going to put that on the table, and that card right there, that says Nintendo, because this was the first game that Nintendo ever made. Don't you know? I wonder if any of these cards look familiar. Yeah, they just might. Let's play you. That's mostly harmless right about now. Oh, excellent. I still don't think that's a winning hand. Oh, it is! It is!
4 lights.
That's a really good winning hand!
Finish.
So, because nobody else is able to set a card down on the table, that round ends and we move on. The winning hands that we got: 4 lights, which is one of the best hands in the game, 8 points, and chaff. You need 10, at least 10, in order to count as a winning hand with the chaff cards. That's only worth 1 point anyway. Because we scored more than 7 points in a single round, our score is doubled. How is it decided that it's the next person's turn? So you go back and forth. So the computer player did the first round, and they went first on that first round. So because I won the second round, now it's my turn. Oh, and here's what I was trying to explain with you before. So this one is January. This is Pine. And I have 2 options on the table. But I can only take one, because I don't want to leave the AI with a potentially unusable hand. It's going to be a race to whoever gets that curtain first, isn't it? Yes, it is. Let's play you. Let's definitely play you. That I'm onto a good winning hand with that one. Now, you see how our cards are being split up into piles? This is like a standard method of play for Hanafuda, where you show off the winning cards that you have and group them by what they are so that the other player can see what you've got in your hand and sort of plan strategically from there. That was a bit mean. You've ruined my plans, computer. Let's do that. So, because I have 5 poetry slips, that's a winning hand. And I can choose to finish the round, or I can call Koikoi, which is basically double or nothing. So, whatever I get next, my points will be doubled, which will be doubled on top of getting 7 points if that's what I happen to do. But if the AI gets a winning hand, their points are doubled, potentially quadrupled, depending on what it is.
Koikoi.
And this, I feel, is where this version of the game is a little lacking, because the rules say that you can call Koikoi as many times as you like. I should not have picked that. That's not the best winning hand on the table. But I will take it. So, this time around, Poetry Slips, which is 2 points. Although, I believe that has been scored incorrectly. That should be 4 points. This is another problem with this game, is occasionally it doesn't know how to do maths. So, there are... Oh, let me get this right. 3 hands that will instantly end a round. Yeah, 3 rounds. If a player receives all 4 cards from a single month in their hand, they automatically win. If a player receives 4 sets of pairs in their hand, they automatically win. That one's generally like a house rule, though. And if the table gets all 4 cards, then it is declared a misdraw, and the round begins again. Like, no penalty to anyone, just begin anew. And this version doesn't have most of those, I believe. The only one it has is 4 of a kind. And it's not like this is ruining anything. You know, they are, the odds of getting this are so low, you're not going to notice. But it is a rule that is absent. And I feel it loses something for that. So, same as before. 10 cards to get the winning hand is 1 point, plus 1 winning card, plus 1 point. Ooh, now. I've turned this rule off because it makes the game incredibly tense and incredibly annoying for anyone who is not me. There are 2 winning hands that only require 2 cards in order to win. There is Moon Viewing and Cherry Blossom Viewing, and these cards, the potential for this exists on the table right now. And that is if you collect the cup and either the flower curtain or the white moon. Like, these don't count. This is, I think, pampas grass. You've seen the card with the moon on it. If you get both of those cards in your hand, the cup and the curtain, or the cup and the moon, you win. And I think it's 5 points. I have a quick reference guide. Yeah, cherry blossom viewing, moon viewing, 5 points apiece. That card, that hand, they've effectively issued a balance patch for this game, nerfing it. And I think that's great. So the way it goes is, it's a bunch of house rules that make it less likely that you're going to get either of the two viewing conditions. And they are... let me see if I remember this rightly. That is Chef Penguini, 350 Joker. Do come on in. Hi, how's it going? Do I want to play you? I don't want to play you. I'm going to play you. I'm taking you. Just to... Speaking of nerfing, let's nerf what the AI player is able to do right about now. Especially with that. So, the way that these rules go, I'm gonna take you. And I'm gonna get seeds, apparently. Okay, let's finish that round. So, a couple of options for how to deal with the viewing winning hands. First off, you basically just refuse to acknowledge those two winning hands. And that is what this game does. That's what most video games do. You just have an option to turn off Cherry Blossom and Moon Viewing. You can limit it so that Moon Viewing and Cherry Blossom Viewing are only viable if you have at least one other winning hand. So, like, I would be able to collect it now
Koikoi.
because I have the 3 lights as a winning hand. Oh, the AI is gonna cheat, air quotes, cheat, and get that Chrysanthemum card in his next turn. Just you watch. That's me pointing at the stands. This is how I lose this round.
Blue poetry.
There it is.
Finish.
Because the AI has all 3 written... all 3 blue poetry slips, plus an extra red one, they get 6 points, which is doubled because I called Koikoi and lost. Now, the final way to get around Cherry Blossom and Moon Viewing, my favorite one, is... It's based on the other cards that are on the table. So, if you have... Do we have any of these cards? Oh, we do, actually. Right. So, if any November cards are on the table, that's Willow. And there are none of those on the table, so allow me to show you. Willow. If any of those cards are on the table, then the Cherry Blossom Viewing is rained off, and you can't play that as a winning hand. And then if any December cards are on the table, which there currently is, the one in the middle there, the yellow base, then it's cold, and it leads to fog, so you can't see the moon, so Moon Viewing is called off. And I think that's great. And then the blocking cards have to be captured and cleared off the table in order for the relevant winning hand to count. The very idea that they have to nerf a physical card game, I think that's great. Oh, there's a Willow card, so now we can't do Cherry Blossom Viewing if we were playing under that particular rule set. I think that's real clever. Let's go for you. Click! Hello, hello! Please do come on in. Let's learn to play a traditional Japanese card game. Because I learned to play it, and everyone else needs to join in with me. Ah, dang it.
Finish.
This was... So this game, 51 Worldwide Games, this came out during lockdown. And I'm thinking to myself, man, I should learn to play an obscure game off this cartridge. Just so that I can have this really obscure life skill. That'll make me super interesting. So that's how I learned to play. And as you can see, it's really, really easy to pick this game up. Like, super, super easy. It's just becoming good at it and learning all the winning hands. That's the tricky one. I mean, it's also tricky playing against a computer that cheats. And that's one of the letdowns, or drawbacks, I should say, of the 51 games version. Because I am taking you.
4 lights with rain. Koikoi.
Because the AI players absolutely cheat. They have that card they need.
Finish.
Every single time they have that card they need. And it's beyond the point where it's just unlucky draws. And that's why I'm going against, like, 3-star difficulty, not 4. Because, I don't know, I'd like to do well. Hey chat, does anything on this board look familiar right about now? Like, if I highlight that, does that look familiar? Because this is where my channel icon comes from. That's the written poetry slip that the bird is holding. And that's the bird. Because that's Plum Blossom. That's February. Which is when my birthday is. Which is why I had that. I am going to take you. Probably shouldn't have done that. Let's do that. There is a winning hand, and I am 1 card away from collecting it. But you have to be kind of lucky in drawing it. And now, I don't believe I am. Incidentally, this card right here, this one, this is the Thunderstorm. It's part of November, and I don't know of any offhand, but there are house rules related to that. Alright. Play it. Play it! It was a shot in the dark, but that's what you get.
Finish.
There is a winning hand for collecting the boar, the deer, and the butterflies. And if you do that, then you just win. How many points is it? I think it's 5. 5 points, plus 1 point for every extra seed. This quick reference, by the way, super great. And that's one reason, as I say, why I picked this to show off rather than the other one, which I may yet do. Now, there are 3 of a kind on the table. This one, and this one. They are all Paulonia, which are part of the December set. Whoever plays the 4th card just claims all 4. Because there is no other way to collect those cards off the table, so you get all 4. And typically what will happen is that you're supposed to group all 4 of those together. All 3 of those together, excuse me. Just stack them on top of one another on the playing field. Just so, you know, the player knows that it is there. This is a lousy hand. Ooh, actually, that's slightly better, because if I can find the other pine card, then I've got the written poetry slips, and I will win. Another reason why I like this version over some of the others that I have is the animation is so slick in this one. And if I show off the other one, yes!
Red poetry slips.
If I show off the other one, which I may do,
Finish.
it's very robotic in the way that it moves, and I'm less keen on that. I'm going to take that one. This one is a dock over a lily pond. By the way, Nintendo is still making Hanafuda cards, and I have some. I don't have the Nintendo branded ones, although...
Butterflies.
Okay!
Koikoi.
Just play that hand out of nowhere. I was not paying attention. But yeah, Nintendo is still making these, and one of my favorite ones is the dock card, which has a little blooper in it. And the moon card is like Luigi looking up at Luigi's mansion. And oh, what else is there? I'm sure I have a picture of this somewhere. I will have to dig it out.
Finish.
Amazing! I will take just a standard winning hand. Can I? No, I can't take you. I can take you, though. I will do that. So these are the ones that always trip me up. I forget which way round they are, but like this one that's the purple and black vines and the other one that's the red and black vines, I always forget which one is which. And I feel quite the fool. Ah, that's fine. Just take my birthday hand. I don't care. I don't want it in the first place. Something else that I don't like about this version, like specifically this version, I feel like this music is rather lacking. And sure, whatever, it's 51 worldwide games. They're not gonna, like, send the A-team composers out. But also,
Finish.
this music is very plunky and clunky, and I'm not keen. Okay, so, apparently I did have my Hanafuda cards up on Facebook somewhere, but it's like years ago. So let's see if I can scroll through 2 windows at once. How about? All the while trying to play this here game. This is another lousy winning hand. Winning hand. It's not even a winning hand. It is a lousy hand. There we go. Aha! Here we go. Here we go. I found it. Right. Let's get ready for that. As we look at that in a short while. And now back to the game. one of those games where, like, when you get the hang of how it flows, you can actually play it fairly quickly, and you just can very quickly work out what is the best winning hand and the best
Koikoi.
option available. Really? That's what you're gonna do? Okay.
Finish.
This bit's kind of cool, though. Big fan of traditional Japanese instruments. Okay, I'm just gonna drag this into OBS. Let's see how badly this goes. Oh, actually, that's fine. So, this is, gonna go over my head for a little while. There you go. Pop! There we go. So, this is, a physical, like, postcard set that I own. And it is something that Nintendo makes and offers as part of the My Nintendo rewards. So this is the back of the card, which shows that, oh, that says Mario over there. Dressed as Napoleon, because he's typically on the back of Hanafuda cards. This one is the Warbler. This is my birthday card / my channel logo. This one is the Flower Curtain. Princess Peach is loving it. This one is the boar. Never quite got why that is the case, because it's Donkey Kong. Whatever. This is the best one. The blooper and like the little guys hanging out of the dock. Love it. That one is the rain card. The man with an umbrella. This one is the deer. And that one is the moon. Which, they've updated this one, actually. I believe this one used to be, I want to say Kirby? Although, I could be quite wrong. Alright, let's get rid of that. Now, what I'm also going to do is, I'm going to show off that other one. But not a full 12-round game, because that'll go an hour. And you've seen how the game goes. Let's take a look at a slightly more advanced and dedicated app for this sort of thing. How many Hanafuda games do I have? Like 4? Shut up. So this one is Mina no Hanafuda. It is super cheap on the eShop. It's like, I think I paid 1,000 yen for this, which is like $10-ish. You've got Hana Awase, which is Hawaiian Hanafuda. Not very good at that. It's closer to, like, poker. Or Koikoi. This is the one you want. This is the one that you're here for. Let's play one of those. And I'm already set up. Amazing. So, 3, 6, 12 rounds, whichever you want to do. This one is called Scramble Mode. First player to 50 points wins. This one goes really quick. Or really slow. There is no middle ground with Scramble Mode. Time limit per turn. Moon viewing, cherry blossom viewing. This one I don't know, because the text says all your points are doubled, but they're not. This one is the standard rule that we just talked about. If you get more than 7 points in a round, your points are doubled. Cool. And this one is 4 sets of 2 pairs wins. Literally never seen it happen. Ever. But I'm streaming, so hey, screw it. Let's see what happens. Let's go against a random opponent, how about? You? Okay. Let's go. This is supposed to be, like, drawn from the deck. But, it's always done as, like, pick one of these 2 cards. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. At least to begin with. January versus March. That's cool. Whatever. January! That's what that says. So do you see what I mean about how this one feels a lot more mechanical? Like, you push this and it will go clunk, clunk, clunk. And that's fine if that's the way that it's designed. I don't know if it's maybe supposed to invoke the feel of, like, you know, video poker or that sort of thing. But it does. Can I get... Yes, I can get that. Let's try that. If I have the... Golly gee, if I have the moon card, I will get a winning hand. Not happening, is it, boss? Alright. Oh, now. We do need to be kind of careful, because as soon as anyone plays the cup card, which is hopefully going to be me. No, it's not. You have Bordeaux butterflies. And you're going to end the round, of course you are. That's fine. I would argue that February! I would argue that if you can't read Japanese, it doesn't particularly matter for this version of the game, because the game runs, and as long as you can navigate your way into it and around it, then sure, whatever. It is what it is, you know? And this one is a little more robust than the 51 Worldwide Games one. Because as you've seen, it's got more customization for the house rules. It's got more customization in general, actually. If I go to this one, like, it's got music choices. Or I can go down here and, like, change the background if I want. So you're still playing on someone's floor. That's great. And yeah, Rextra sums it up pretty well. Once you know what the cards are, the writing is essentially unimportant. You can just play the game. And you can see how everything is laid out in the same, like, winning piles on the sides there. Can I... Oh, I can do this. I can absolutely do this. Okay, so, speaking of the text, a little bit of rundown for you. Koikoi shimasu ka? Will you, koikoi? That says koikoi. That says something in katakana who's something like Suzuri, which is finish. Kasu, 1 point. And then that's just, here's what you've won. I could potentially get some more points out of this, but I'm not going to. Because you know that the enemy player is going to have a more winning card than the one I have. So let's just hope that I get something good in our final round. March! There's a really rare winning hand, which I don't believe I have ever had, which is red and blue poetry slips. So it's where you get all 3 of these guys that have been written on, and all 3 of the blue ones. Again, it requires staggering luck. Three lights. and red poetry slips. And I'm going to stop, because that's enough for me to win. Lovely. Omedetou! You're a winner! So yeah, that's this one. This is my favorite version that I own. Because this is something that I will just do while I've got 20 minutes on the train, or I'm on my lunch break. I'll just play a bit of that. I think that's great. And it could be a little more involved. Like I say, give me pages and pages of house rules. I love that. I live for that. But what's here, not too bad at all. In any case, that is how to play Hanafuda in 2 different languages. It's something I was asked to do. Amazing! I hope everyone has come away from this a little wiser than when we started.